We are the dollars and cents.
Welcome back to the channel, guys. Well, today I got a little treat for you guys. Had this fragrance that I've been sitting on for quite a while. Bought this one probably 3 or 4 months ago. It's just been sitting here in my pile of fragrances that I need to review, and just haven't gotten around to it. I was waiting for it to get warmer. We've had an unseasonably cool spring starting off. I mean, I guess it's hit and miss here in Texas, but around this time of year, it's usually pretty muggy and starting to get pretty warm. But it's been pretty cool for like the last 3 weeks. But I think it's going to start getting warm soon. I want to hurry to get this one out of the way, because if I don't like it, I'm going to sell it. So, and I need to bring some more stuff in. I just ordered 2 more fragrances to come in, so you guys will be getting some 2023 releases very, very soon. So stay tuned for those. But today we're going to talk about Xerjoff's Uden Overdose. Now, if you guys remember, they do have the original Uden that came out, I believe, in 2009. I will link the video that I did a very, 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 very long time ago on that fragrance. I think I had like a sample or something that I got back when I was doing a lot of decants. But I did a video on that one. I wasn't a big fan of it, honestly. I remember thinking it was like maybe one of the first niche, like maybe one of the first 5 or 10 niche decants that I purchased. And I was really excited to try it. Because I want to say I don't think I've ever tried anything from that house at that point, and I was really underwhelmed. And actually, it reminded me of Chanel Allure Homme. And back then, I had that opinion back then. I still have it now, even though it's been a while since I've tried it. But people got really upset at me. People were thinking like, "Oh yeah, you don't know what you're talking about," and your nose isn't refined, and yada yada yada. People just gave me a hard time for that opinion. I mean, you go on for granted now, people they think the same thing. They think it smells like Chanel Allure Homme's Homme. The original and the Edition Blanche, which I haven't tried those side by side, but they do tend to have the same sort of note breakdown. Anyway, so yeah, here's the box for Uden Overdose, and I'll get to all the information on the fragrance here in a minute. But if you guys have never seen this presentation, Xerjoff, they spare no expense on the presentation. You're paying like probably the $50, out of the 200 that you're paying for one of the Xerjoffs is going towards the presentation, because these things are gorgeous if you don't know what they look like. Here's the box, nice, soft. It's got like some padding on here. Opens up like so. And I will show you guys the inside of the box. The bottle does come covered up like this, with a couple of fancy pieces of cloth there. It says Xerjoff on the cloth. Nice cutout for the bottle. And not all of them come with this, but this one does come with a plaque of authenticity with a number on it. Now, I do know that the old Xerjoffs used to come with a little, like, I can't remember what the series was called, but they were like named after stars or meteorites or something like that. And that it came with a little piece of rock. And this one has a little pouch, and I didn't even know this had this. So, yeah, it just comes with. So I guess this is the Shooting Stars collection. So it does have a meteorite piece. I just saw that. So I didn't know this was included in that set, but here you go. And for those of you guys that didn't believe me, yeah, there's a little. I mean, I don't think it's a real meteorite. It's probably just a little piece of metal, but yeah. So it comes in a little pouch here, and it's got a certificate here telling you that. Like I said, they go all out on their presentation. I mean, it's pretty cool. If you guys are all about presentations, I wish I had more room on my shelf, or if I liked more of these, because I would probably have them all lined up like you're at a perfume shop. With the lids open and everything kind of just showing there like in all its glory, but I don't. So that's that. Here is the bottle, guys. This is like the standard Xerjoff bottle. I call them egg bottles, but this is different because it is gold. Now, I'll put the list here or here on the other side of the other overdoses. I want to say I've only read there's like maybe 1 or 2 other ones, but this is the first one I want to say that came out. So the Uden Overdose. And I don't even know what they're overdosing on, because honestly, I compared the note breakdowns, and they're not very similar. At least not to me. I could be completely wrong about that. But again, these perfumers out there can do wonders. But here is the lid. As we know, Xerjoff, again, heavy metal cap, does have the X on the inside to show that it is real. Gold atomizer. Put that on. Batch number on the back here. Not sure if you can see it etched. There you go, right there. Sticker on the bottom. Yeah, good looking bottle from the house of Xerjoff. So, Uden Overdose from the house of Xerjoff is a unisex woody spicy fragrance released in 2018. The nose behind this fragrance is Chris Maurice, and is an eau de parfum concentration, guys. The notes for this fragrance: in the top, we have lemon and bergamot. In the mid, we have ginger and tobacco blossom. And in the base, we run things off with amber and musk. Now, the notes for the OG, the original Uden, is going to be citruses. This is a kind of a quick breakdown. Citruses, woods, rum, vanilla, musk, and ambergris. So they do share the amber. They do share the musk. And they share some citruses. That's really about it. A couple of sprays here. I'll let you guys know what I get out of this one. Here we go. Chanel Allure Homme or no? Something else. Let's see. Good sprayer as always with these. Okay, very, very woody. I guess I'm getting that tobacco blossom because I'm getting something that's it's floral. I'm starting to get a little bit of that Chanel Allure Homme. A little bit. Smells pretty different right now. Very citrusy up top. The tobacco blossom reminds me a little bit. I think I have the fragrance right of what's it called from Anike, something in Paris, like the love notes, love letters from Paris or something like that. So this one smells similar to that one. And if I recall, I remember saying that one smelled like Chanel Allure as well. And I think that one has tobacco blossom. So again, I'll have to cross-check all these things in the update, but I did like that fragrance, and I am getting a lot of that same tobacco blossom, citrusy sort of fragrance in this one. And that one might even contain ginger as well. So I'm getting the ginger in this one, I'm getting the citruses. The ginger is not tinny. You know, I always say that in some cheaper fragrances, ginger can come off as like coppery or tinny, or it smells like an old penny. Not getting that right now. This one is very zingy. The lemon and the bergamot make it zesty and fresh. Tobacco blossoms giving a little bit of a floral. There's some bite in here I'm getting from somewhere. I'm not really sure where it's coming from, but there's a nice bite to it that could be coming from the tobacco blossom and or the ginger. But yeah, it's very, there's a sharpness to it that I don't mind actually. Right now it's coming off as masculine. I'm not getting, again, if it's something that smells like Chanel Allure Homme that's made for men, then I assume this one, and this one is not exactly down, going down the line of being like the original. But I can get aspects of the original in this one. But this one's spicier. Not sure if it's the warm spicy amber coming out or if it's the ginger mixing with the tobacco blossom. But something in this is giving it a bit of a warm spicy spiciness to it, which I'm liking. I mean, I'm not loving this fragrance, but I'm not hating it either. This is nice. But yeah, this one smells nice, and I think it's going to actually have some staying power because the warm spiciness is really popping. That zesty bite is still there as well. It's almost like making my nose tickle, like I'm going to sneeze. Like I would, I'm not surprised I'm surprised that there's not pepper or something that's giving it that really, really sharp, spicy bite to it. But I will say that I know, like, every now and then I'll have a Moscow Mule, and when people use a ginger beer, if it's really good, authentic ginger beer, it'll make me sneeze. Something about that ginger gets up in my nose, and I start sneezing. I'm getting a little bit of that from this, so it might be the ginger actually, which is not a bad thing because to me that's just telling me that the ginger note in this is very authentic. I'm not saying that that's what happens with ginger to everybody, but that's just my experience. So I'm just kind of connecting the two. Yeah, this is a pleasant fragrance. Again, I don't really get a lot of the original DNA. Again, I wish I had the original to compare it to, but I don't. Not anymore. I think I sold my bottle. I think I ended up buying a bottle and just kept it for a short while, but I could be wrong about that. But yeah, this smells good. And right now, because I can quickly figure out whether I think I'm going to keep something or not, I'm right down the middle on this one. Because I think it's different enough for me to keep this bottle and enjoy it. But then again, it's like, well, will I reach for it a lot? I mean, maybe. I don't have that many. Honestly, I don't have that many fresh fragrances. And this one isn't exclusive. We'll get to all that in the update, but this one isn't exclusively like fresh, like summer day. But, I mean, sometimes you need some spring fragrances hanging out too. Or like some fall where it's still a little bit warm, a little bit cool. But, man, this is a good fragrance. I like this. And I'll have to give you guys, obviously, in the update, give you guys all the lowdown what I get from this one. But right now, I really am enjoying this fragrance. So I'm going to wear it today, in the next couple of days. Give you guys an update shortly. Talk to you then. All right, guys, back with my update for Uden Overdose from the house of Xerjoff, guys. This is a good fragrance. going to start off by saying this does remind me of Uden. It didn't in the first half of the video, but after a few wearings, I did get the Uden DNA. Wasn't as Chanel Allure Homme as I was saying in the first half of the video. It wasn't as much as that, but you can still get that vibe. I might have mentioned this in the first half of the video that it did remind me of Field Notes in Paris. Might have been because of the tobacco flower or tobacco blossom. Excuse me. But this is a nice fragrance. We'll get to more on what I liked about it here in a minute. But what I did get, yes, I did get an Uden vibe, so I can see why they call it Uden Overdose. Excuse me. The tobacco blossom was nice and floral, and sweet. Gave it a little bit of a tobacco feel to it, honestly. Not like a normal tobacco, fragrance, but like you could tell it's tobacco blossom. The dry down was my favorite part. It was very sweet, not like sickly sweet, but it was sweeter than you would think. Looking at some of these notes, I wouldn't know really where the sweetness came from, except maybe the citrus, but it smells like there's almost some sort of slight vanilla notes in this because it does get a bit gourmandy. You got that opening with that fresh fizziness from the ginger and the citruses, and then it kind of goes down. It gets nice and a little bit floral, I guess, a little bit tobacco-y with the tobacco blossom. But then something in the dry down really, it got really woody and spicy and powdery, which maybe it's sort of the dry down in this really reminded me of Palo Santo from I can't remember the name of the house, but I will put the picture right here. And they had one called, I think, like D600, and there was one more, and they sort of all had the same vibe in that house, but it sort of gave me the dry down in this, which left me a little confused because I just wasn't expecting that. Like the dry down in this is like milky and woody and a little creamy, and not sure where that came from with the notes that we got, but that's what I was left with, at least to my nose. But I did like that. I will say this is a more mainstream release from the House of Xerjoff. Now, in my opinion, some of their Casa Mirati line, a lot of those, in my opinion, were more mainstream. Like a lot of them compared to maybe some of these, some of this line and some other ones from Xerjoff that just aren't wearable. This one's a little bit more mainstream. You can just automatically tell that from the fact that I said it kind of reminds me of the Chanel. Longevity for this fragrance, we'll say 6 to 8 hours. 6 hours, it was still noticeable. 8 hours, it was still there, but not sure if it was noticeable. So we'll just say 6 to 8 hours. Again, everyone's skin's different. You guys, I wore quite a few sprays of this, by the way. I put a lot of sprays of this stuff on. The atomizer's amazing on this. Got plenty of juice. The projection, below average, just because it's an eau de parfum. Maybe I could say average because it does start off with a citrusy note. So maybe for this type of fragrance, it is average. So maybe we'll just say that to be fair. But first couple of hours, like most fragrances, are going to be your best. But after that, it got very close to the skin. Did get light wafts throughout the day, but again, not going to fill up a room. Again, the first few hours, you're going to get probably noticed with this one, but after that, not so much. Seasons for this fragrance. I was debating whether saying just spring or fall, sort of where it's still cool and, warm. But honestly, the heat might help this one out, and it's not so milky and powdery in the dry down to where it's gonna, really bomb anyone around you. So I will just say the spring, summer, and early fall. So cooler and warmer weather fragrances. Maybe even cold too. I think the tobacco blossom could probably cut to that cold if that's what I'm getting. That's really giving it that bit of that thickness and that heaviness. Occasions for this fragrance, all occasions. I can see people wearing this for casual day wear because of the citrus on top with the ginger notes. I can see people wearing this one at night with that dry down. It's very spicy. It's very woody. It's thick, thicker than you would think compared to the original Uden. So I can definitely see people wearing this one for all occasions. Again, casually and then dress down, suit and tie. Definitely safe for work. Not going to be strong enough for a club, but I don't think anybody's going to wear this one to the club. Anyway, ages for this fragrance, 25 and up, is because of the price tag. The lowest I could find this fragrance for online was at Joma Shop for $179.99. That is just too much money for the young guys out there. That might be even too much money for some 25-year-olds, but I do think with the composition that the people out there are probably going to like this one and that age range, but it's just going to be a little steep in the price tag. If you can find it for less, maybe get your hands on this one. Unisex factor for this fragrance is going to be leans more masculine. In the dry down, again, it reminded me of the Palo Santo, which is a milky, warm, spicy, creamy, woody fragrance, and that's what you're getting out of this one, at least to my nose. And that to me smells more masculine. Sorry, ladies out there, but I think this one's going to go towards the guys. Overall, good fragrance. More of a mainstream release from Xerjoff, so that's nice. Performance was lacking. It was okay, but it wasn't great. For the price tag, you want more, but it's not awful. You can get to wear it for most occasions, pretty much every season. Pretty much. I do think this one's worth a try. I don't think it's worth a blind buy. If you like the original Uden, I heard someone describe this as a night version of the original Uden. So if you like Uden and you want to try something like a different version of it that's a little bit thicker, a little bit heavier, maybe that leans towards the evening time, then you might want to get your hands on this one, because I do think you guys will like this one. If I'm debating whether I should keep this one. I like it, but I don't love it. So that's just gonna be my decision at the end of the day. But it does smell nice. Again, just wish it performed better, and I wish it was a little bit more affordable. But yeah, this is a good release. Decent little composition they got here. Just not my favorite, honestly, from the house of Xerjoff. But again, if you could find this for a good price, go ahead and pull the trigger, guys. But what are your thoughts on Uden Overdose from the house of Xerjoff? Do you like this fragrance? Let me know your thoughts on this fragrance down in the comments below, because I'd love to hear what you guys are thinking about this one, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching the video on my channel. If you like this video, please click that like button, subscribe to my channel, and turn on notifications for future first impressions videos and first-edited content just like this, guys. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Dollars and Cents. There, you'll find fragrance-related photos and future contest winners. And as always, until the next video, you guys take care. Thanks.